Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another exciting daily vlog. So today, I want to talk about something that just annoys the hell out of me. I'm going to ruffle a few feathers because a lot of people take this particular subject very, very seriously. Um, and I guess I'm going to preface this with, I am not, attacking anyone specifically. This practice just annoys the hell out of me. And I will explain why in just a moment. And the practice that I want to talk about is OTP and shipping. For those of you that are part of the uninitiated, OTP stands for one true pairing, and shipping is based off the word relationship, where basically you take two characters and you decide that they're in a romantic relationship. It can take many forms. They can be heterosexual relationships, homosexual relationships, interspecies. The massive amount of shipping that happens is crazy. And I specifically want to talk about why it is that it annoys the hell out of me, and the whole process behind it. For the most part, there are some ships that I'm actually like, yeah, you know what, that's actually possible. It's an interesting idea, and it'll make more sense once I explain myself a little bit better. So to really explain why it is that this annoys me so much, I have to really talk about the process of creating a character. Um, Creating a character for a movie, television series, stage production, book, anything is a very, very involved process. And depending on the medium, a lot of people put a lot of time and effort into creating these characters. If you're talking about written media, the author spends months, if not years, of their lives creating this book and creating this character, and they have a very clear-cut and precise idea of who this character is, and that's why they write them this way. And it's a very involved process. When you start moving towards visual media like movies and television and stuff like that, you have the writer who creates the initial character, creates a description of the character, creates the situations that the character will be in, and writes how the character reacts in those situations. All of these things kind of define who the character is. Then you have the director. The director gets to mold and shape the character by looking at the overall story that the writer has written, and then deciding exactly how he or she wants to interpret that particular story, and what they want to focus on, and where they want the narrative to go, and how they want to tell that story visually. And you can have, 7 different directors directing the exact same written piece of work and get 7 different interpretations with 7 different characterizations in them. And then you have the actors themselves. They add the final piece to these characters. They actually get to embody the character, and they are the ones that get to decide motivations. They're the ones that get to really show how the character lives and breathes. And a competent actor, not even like a really, really great actor, just a competent actor, will spend a lot of time focusing on learning who the character is, becoming the character, figuring out why they are the way that they are, figuring out what they will do in certain situations and things like that. And it's a ton of work. And the end product is generally very, very cool, especially when you're familiar with all the pieces that are put into it. It's one of the reasons that when I watch movies and things like that, I focus so much on character development, because that's what I did. I'm an actor. That's what I do. And I really enjoy it. The thing with shipping is, with some exceptions, like this is not an exhaustive list of how shipping works in general, but a lot of the time, the ships that I see completely take all of this work that has been put into it and throw it out the window. they sit there and they see two characters and they're like, oh my God, they would make the cutest couple. And they start rewriting who the characters are, sometimes changing their sexual preference, sometimes completely ignoring massive parts of their backstory simply because it doesn't really fit in, or just completely ignoring who they are as a person and as a fully formed character and rewriting their entire makeup so that it fits into this OTP, this one true pairing. And to me, that's unbelievably insulting to the core work. One of the things that you learn as a stage actor specifically, I'm not sure if it's quite as emphasized when you start doing film acting, because I didn't do a ton of that. But stage acting, it's kind of beaten into your head. The words are sacred, especially when you're doing shows that have been performed for years, like you do in high school and college when you're learning it. You take on roles that brilliant, amazing actors have done before. And if you completely throw away the text and start improvising and stuff like that, you're doing a disservice to the author of the work. So I take that very seriously. The written word is sacred. So when I see people sit there and completely ignore all the work that's been done creating these characters, it drives me nuts. Because at the bare minimum, it shows a complete lack of respect for the people that did it. And it could just be a complete ignorance to just the process itself. They don't respect it simply because they don't realize how much work and effort goes into creating a character. Um, I have the same problem with fan fiction to a point. Really well written fan fiction takes the characters as they already are, puts them in new situations, and lets them react the way those characters, played by those actors, would react. It's unbelievably difficult to do because not only do you have to understand the character itself, you have to understand the actor behind the character and the writers and the directors to make it truly believable. So good fan fiction is very, very difficult. However, I have read a fair amount of fan fiction that, again, completely throws us out because they think it'd be cooler if the character acted like this. And again, in my viewpoint, that's them literally just giving a middle finger to the hours and hours and days and months and sometimes years of work that was put into creating these characters. Um, it drives me nuts. Again, because my first thought process whenever I see a movie is I start analyzing the characters. It's the same thing that happens when I start listening to music. I'm a classically trained musician. I've been playing an instrument since I was in technically I started playing the piano when I was like in the second grade, but I sucked at it. I started seriously playing an instrument in the fifth grade. I sing, I write music, I've taught myself multiple instruments, I've taken traditional training, I've taken private voice lessons, I've studied music theory. So when I listen to a song, I sit there and I take it apart. I go, oh, that was really cool. That was a diminished fifth. Wow, I really like the counterpoint on that one. And to me, I can get an appreciation for a song that someone that isn't musically trained simply can't, because I can sit there and I guess kind of read between the lines of, wow, that was really cool, where someone else might go, wow, that was a really cool, melody and everything like that. I go, well, it's actually even cooler because that was actually this motif, which is actually an allusion to this from classical musical literature, which is this and this and this. So it actually means this and this and this and this. And that's why it's so cool. And they'll just sit there, well, no, I thought it was a pretty line. It is 100%. That is a correct, wonderful, amazing interpretation of the music. I just have a very different look at music because of my training. And the same thing is true about acting and things like that, and watching movies. I have a very different interpretation. I have a very different experience than your average moviegoer because I am an actor. I've spent years of my life learning to do what they do on the screen. Um, Obviously, I haven't gotten very far in that pursuit because most of you guys have probably never seen the one film I was paid to be in. But still very, very something. And so, yeah, shipping drives me nuts. A lot of fan fiction drives me nuts. The only exception to that is when people actually take the characterization into mind and make pairings that make sense. Like, um, to give you an example, the pairing of Lilith and Percy, I think is really, really cool. Because, to be blunt, we don't have a lot of Lilith to uh, get an idea of what her character is and who she is as a person. Um, because of that, a lot of her character is open to interpretation until somebody nails it down or Kit decides to tell us exactly what her motivations are. Um, the pairing of Lilith with Percy doesn't conflict with anything that's really been established, or at least nothing that I've seen. It's very possible that, again, it was a one-off character. I really didn't examine it that hard. And then when you look at Percy, he has been an incredibly guarded character the entire time. We've only been finding out about him really most recently with this current arc. So there's a lot about him that we don't know. Um, and it would not be beyond the realm of reason for someone with a very dangerous past and a very dark past to be attracted to someone. Lilith also has. She's done some stuff. That's why she was being hunted by the Collector, whatever his name was. So they both have that dark path that they're somewhat trying to distance themselves, somewhat trying to deal with that. They've done bad things. It would make sense that they would take solace in each other, even though that is nowhere whatsoever in the little bit of interaction that they had. But I could definitely see if those two characters were to continue, there becoming a relationship there eventually. And so I like shipping and OTP like that, and those do exist because again, there are a lot of fans that take characterization and things like that as seriously as I do, but still enjoy the idea of shipping. So things like that I really enjoy because it shows a respect to the work that all these people have put in addition to a lot of creativity and an understanding of these characters pretty far beyond what your average viewer would have. So I respect that, and I really enjoy reading stuff like that. And the same thing is true about fan fiction that is very, very well done. I love reading stuff like that because, again, it shows a respect for the amount of work this would put in addition to just being very creative and very well written. So, yes. However, things like slash fic and, shipping Cloud and Sephiroth and stuff like that just annoys the fuck out of me. Because there is nowhere in any realm, parallel universe, whatever, where that would ever happen. And it's simply people doing stuff to be weird. And that, again, it just annoys the hell out of me. So anyway, that's my little rant today. I have no idea why I've been focusing on shipping so much, but just something recently kind of hit me off. I'm like, wow, that annoys the hell out of me. Let's tell random people on the internet about that. So anyway, that's all for me today. I will see you guys tomorrow for some more vlogging. And starting Tuesday is the 1st of December. I am, as of right now, I am going to be doing daily December. You guys have noticed I've been doing daily vlogs anyways. So I'm going to do daily December again this year. We will see. We'll see how that goes. But as of right now, I'm planning on doing it. I've had fun the past 2 years that I've done it. So doing this for a third year, it'll be a ton of fun. So anyway, again, that's all for me today, and I will see you guys tomorrow for some more vlogging. All right. Bye bye.